Let's have a dime tour. For those of you that like to watch it, I'm going to continue doing it because I like it too. And it's kind of cool to look back on it, you know, a year later and kind of see how everything has progressed and what it looks like. So let's take a look around, see who we can see. This is the chicken destroyed garden. It's coming around. Today is my youngest son's birthday, and he is 13. So I officially have no more young children, all teenagers. So right now I have an 18, a 16, and a 13. And my middle one will be 17 very soon. The rain knocked over my foxglove. It's still so pretty. Some astilbe. Not much going on in this bed, lots of green still. This is my front yard. These two little trees are brand new fruit trees that we put in, a cherry and a plum. I know this plum tree has a couple, it actually has a couple plums on it. It was blooming when we got it, and I didn't know if it would have enough time to get pollinated by my other plum tree. There we go, there's a plum. This is a black ice plum, so they're supposed to be pretty dark. Our grass gets really dry this time of year. This front yard is very sandy, but we've got some thyme that escaped the garden and is growing up in the lawn, which that stays green. And this big patch here, which is in the lawn, is oregano, and it has escaped the garden. It's out in the yard, which I don't mind. No perfectly manicured lawn here, that's for sure. My cherry tree has a couple cherries on it. I showed you guys those last time. They still look the same, green. And the pathetic tomato plants that I'm trying to save, this one's looking a heck of a lot better, so it might make it. And the blueberries. The sun's so bright I can't see the screen here. Oh, there they are. Not ripe yet. Gooseberries. Still not ripe. Lots and lots of apples on my apple tree. Still very small and green. Usually at this point they start dropping a couple of the green apples, so we'll see how many it drops. My chickens generally come through and eat them. Here's my rhubarb. It's looking a little bit better. I've actually just left it alone. I did mulch it a little while ago. I left it alone. It's looking a little bit better. Something's still munching on the leaves. Let's see what else. This is the bed that I sit in front of. You can see it from this side instead of you guys usually see it from the other side. I don't remember planting this flower. A bird might have planted it. Look at all the sun drops. They're just in full bloom. Pretty awesome. Gotta be careful, I'm walking barefoot, of course. I'm gonna step on anything sharp. And then, it's all these tall guys. These are my Queen of the Prairie. And maybe next week they'll be blooming. They're just about ready. I love them. They're one of my favorites. Well, I say that almost about everything, so whatever. But underneath these, Chico's gonna go in there and he might get whooped on a little bit because underneath these plants, one of my mama ducks, another mama duck has got a nest. Oh, you can hear her. Chico, get out of there. Chico, out. And he likes to go harass her. It's like his favorite hobby. These guys are really tall. They form like a hedge around this flower bed here. Really, really tall. Some of them are up over my head. Which, you know what? I'm only around 5'3", so that's not really very tall, but it seems tall to me. Wisteria vine going crazy. No blooms this year yet. We'll see if it blooms. Sometimes it doesn't. We got our first lily bloom, which is starting to fade already, but lilies are also one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. Let's go see if we can find some critters. Hi, Susanna. My little baby goat. Yeah, she loves to be petted. Hi, Susanna. You're getting a little bit bigger, and Mama. And Mama. You finally starting to grow, Susanna? You're a sweet girl. You're getting your little horns. She's still a little tiny peanut, like her daddy. And now Rick, the daddy goat, he went to another farm because he's done his job here. He went to another farm with 3 ladies. Oh, I found my mama duck. I'm going to see how close she'll let me get. She's got her babies in this little bog area that overflows into my pond. She's going to walk them away, of course, because all my critters are terrified of me, except for Susanna and the mama. She's going to walk them away. I was hoping one of these times I'd catch them in the pond where they were bathing and we could video that, but no luck. We'll go walk around my vegetable garden just a little bit. It's a little weedy. So I'm a little embarrassed, you know. It's always like we got to have everything to be perfection and, you know, to show anyone else. And if it's not perfection, it's not worth doing or something. And Minnie's going to come in. We got some extra pots over here. But I got my tomatoes up one side and 2 rows of radishes and some carrots. And then some more very pathetic tomatoes that my husband brought me home. That looked like they were just about dead. They're actually doing really well, and I have staked them up on these, you know, ropes, I guess, and they're starting to ripen, so that's really exciting. And I've got them mulched in. I've got some cardboard down and then grass clipping because that helps me with the weeds, because I'm not Superwoman like my good friend told me one time. I can't do everything, so I need to do mulching, and I also do no-till, so there's a lot of different things in here that help feed them. This is a tomatillo, and I love tomatillos, and it's blooming. I have 4 of them. I like to pickle tomatillos and then put them on burgers. It's very good. Oh, and that tomato fell down. That one's got to be staked up. We have some pepper plants and more cardboard, lots of cardboard. That's pretty much what I put down. And then if you don't cover it with mulch right away, which I haven't had time to do, then the weeds just pop up through the holes. I don't know what this is. This came up on its own. To me, it looks like a broccoli plant or a kale plant or something in that, you know, in the brassica family, but I'm not sure. So I haven't eaten it. If anybody knows what this is, let me know. And then I had a really, really poor germination. The squash are just going everywhere. I had really poor germination of corn this year. So I had 3 big rows, and really all I got was this. So I'm not really sure what happened. Just poor germination. The weather was kind of on and off, cold and warm this spring, so I don't know. I had poor bean germination as well. I also have some flowers in my vegetable garden. It's a work in progress. I just made it a little bit bigger. I just extended it. So this area back here, all the way to the goat fence, was not included in my vegetable garden up until this year. And then I decided I would extend it, and then I'll have to mulch that area in. So that's some work to do this fall and next spring after we're done growing. I'm disappointed with my vegetable garden this year. About a third of what I planted came up. And Wisconsin spring is kind of that way. You never quite know. Oh, and then one other thing. I haven't checked on my potatoes for a while. I'm trying this potatoes in a barrel deal, which you can do if you have a very small space. You get your seed potatoes. Well, there's no sprouts yet. You get your seed potatoes and you put them in the bottom of like an old trash can. You got to have some holes in the bottom so they have drainage. And you stick them in there, and then you cover them with dirt, and then as they grow up, the green part grows up, you add more dirt just until a 1/2 inch of the green is covered, or is sticking out, I should say. And then at the end of the season, you just dump the whole thing out, and then there you have your potatoes. So I'm trying that rather than putting them in the ground. And I don't see any sprouts yet, so I don't know. This might be a flop. I've seen other people do it, and it worked for them, so I thought I wanted to try it. But anyway, yeah, I'll just give you a couple woods shots of the land behind me. It's pretty much the end of our dime tour here. But yeah, this is acreage behind us. And then, you know, goat pasture, and then acreage behind us. Some of that is ours, and then the rest of it belongs to my husband's uncle, because we live near family. But yeah, there's Mama and Susanna. That's all I have left for goats this year. I haven't decided if I'm going to breed Mama again. Susanna obviously is too young. So I don't know this fall when she goes into heat if I will breed her or not. We'll see. I loved having the baby goats, but I don't really need any more goats, so we'll see. I haven't decided yet. Thanks for watching, guys. That is the end of the dime tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.